What up, YouTube? It's Eclipse. Well, it's finally gonna happen. The end of the world. Apparently, it happened almost 8 years ago. Actually, a little over 8 years ago. But yeah, I remember this day. I was working. I'm not gonna say where, but it did involve making burgers. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say the name, but I remember this date. Internet historians uploading a YouTube video about the campaigning at the end of the world. This dude was a prophet. The person claiming Judgment Day on this day will happen on supper time. I remember that specifically, supper time. It will happen around dinner time, which the whole world, like, what specifically counts as dinner, you know. But yeah, we will disappear and, all this stuff. I like this dude. I like this guy. You know why? Because, I like the videos that he made about Fire Festival, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, what else he done? Let me look around these videos. There are no singles in your area. Well, yeah, I already deleted my dating apps. Okay, enough about me. Let's just watch this video already. I really like this. I'm glad I subscribed to him. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh baby, look at the size of that sponsor.
Just relax. Everything's totally serene.
Okay, good.
You're floating through a cloud. The sun is warm.
Am I going to the digital world?
Is nigh.
Can I get my own Digimon? In my own heaven?
The rapture is coming. And we have the specific date.
Right.
Soon the believers will rise.
I believe he was in a trailer.
The pure will be left below.
Going around the United States. I don't know. Maybe Mexico too.
Get your affairs in order. Take your preparation H. That's preparation for heaven. Because the world will officially end on May 21st,
2011.
2011.
Getting a little close to the 2012 date, man.
Wait, what?
Could have made it.
May 21, there's going to be a terrific earthquake, way greater than anything.
It'll probably happen next week. The great earthquake.
And that'll be the beginning of Judgment Day.
This is uploaded on August 3rd. Like, it could happen in 100 years. I was obsessed with looking at... Around that time, I was looking up about the New Madrid and the... Not the one in Seattle.
2010, the
I'm kind of afraid
was
of.
launched to save some souls. They suited up.
What would Jesus do?
But it was more than just placards and flyers. Soon they were joined by a caravan of 5 RVs roaming the country, spreading the good word about
trailers.
Thousands of people took it seriously. Many began selling their possessions. They were maxing out credit cards, taking on debt. Even the news picked up on it.
The end is near.
Advertising was put on bus stops, in subways. A big expensive billboard was put up. Then another. Then another. Then 5,000 more. In fact, this quickly became the most expensive single-event advertising campaign ever, totaling over $100 million just to tell people about a rapture on May 21st, 2011. How the heck did this happen? Harold Camping. So who is this hardcore gangster rapturist, Harold Camping? He was one of the biggest figures in Christian media. He had a show, Open Forum, hosted by his company, Family Radio. In 2010, it was a media empire, worth over $70 million. His message went out on over 200 radio stations across the United States and many more around the world. His listenership? Millions. And when he says the world will end, a decent-sized contingent believed it.
Yeah,
Now,
no, look at me. I'm doing it too. I was like...
edgy atheists and skeptics already. Listen, at first I also didn't believe Mr. Camping.
Right.
I get it. There have been many people to predict the rapture before and get it wrong. But wait. Give him a chance.
I looked at all the scientific data I could find, like carbon-14 dating or potassium-argon dating.
This time, it's different. Camping is coming at you with irrefutable evidence of the rapture because he's
done his research.
math. This is not just a bit, this is actually how they calculated the rapture.
Oh, I gotta know.
Jesus
Write
died
this
on
down.
April 1st, 33 AD.
Okay.
Now take the year 2011. That's a difference of 1,978. We times
Okay.
that by 365.2422, and that gives you the number of days it's been since that, including leap years. That equals 722,449. Now keep that number in mind. Keep it in your head. Atonement. Now that's 5. Completeness. That's 10. And heaven is 17. Now we times them all together, and look at this. 850. Then we square that, and that's 722,500. A difference of 51.
51.
51 days plus April 1st, 2011 equals May 21st, 2011. You did it, Mr. Camping. You've cracked the code. And needless to say, his skeptics were left destroyed by facts and logic. Even the ones who pointed out that he predicted the rapture once before in 1994 in a Louis Theroux documentary.
1994 will be
come
the
on,
last
man.
day of the final tribulation period.
But shut up. He's got more to say than just the date. My boy is about to tell you how the whole thing is gonna go down.
Yep. Poof.
So God's gonna snatch up all the good boys, about 200 million of us. Everyone else? Pets? Even the cute ones. So dudes, you're getting left behind. Then at 6 p.m. exactly on Christmas Island, earthquakes are gonna start doodling all over the place, rolling their way across the earth, taking out almost everyone at exactly 6 p.m. according to their time zone. Those earthquakes will then trigger gigantic tsunamis, 10 kilometers tall, and go as far inland as Colorado. Every soul left behind will be forever damned, eventually to go straight down to heck. Now, let's not go lumping everyone in. Most Christian groups did not believe in Harold Camping's teachings. In fact, most Christian groups don't believe in predicting the rapture at all, and even consider it a sin. Matthew 24:36 specifically says that no man can know the day or the hour.
Exactly.
So to try and guess at it would be to go against Scripture. Accordingly, Protestant and Catholic groups denounced Mr. Camping's claims.
May 21st, he's a follower of Harold Camping. The scriptures do not teach that. No man knows the day or the hour.
In fact, even Camping's own producer at Family Radio said it was a bad idea. But that didn't stop Mr. Camping. He saw the big churches as corrupt anyway, so he ignored them and continued charging forward with his prediction.
There's just no reason in the world, no possibility that it will not happen.
And so did his followers.
97% of the people God will destroy.
That's a lot of people, man.
Do you think this thing is getting blown up too much in the media and elsewhere?
Before we go on, 2 important details. Number 1, Family Radio receives most of its funding through donations, bequeathments, ads, merchandise, and sponsors, but mostly just donations. 2, Family Radio was established in 1959. Camping is the owner and CEO, but there are 2 other chairmen on board to keep him in check. Or at least there were. Unfortunately, in recent years, those other chairmen were getting quite old and sick and having a tougher and tougher time telling Camping no to poor decision making. So by 2010, Camping effectively had free reign over the company. Free reign over its messaging, free reign over its audience, and free reign over the spending. And he started
Gotta
spending
have
like,
money.
well, like the world was going to end. The media soon picked up on the ubiquitous advertising, and the word spread further. This, in turn, encouraged more advertising, and in turn more media interest, so things were snowballing. By early May, everyone was talking about the rapture. The search term End of the World May 21st was number 2 on Google search, followed by Harold Camping, May 21st Doomsday, and May 21 Rapture, also in the top 10. The traffic online was so substantial it even caused Family Radio's servers to crash. Soon, it became a bit of a meme. And the internet did what it does best. On May 19th, Operation Rapture was conceived. Okay, lads.
Huh.
We wake up early on May 21st and throw
Means were
clothes
different back
into the
then.
street.
Kind of
It's
curious
gonna look
now.
like a bunch of people were teleported to the afterlife, and hopefully, some of them are gonna freak out.
Hmm.
Well, they had a pretty good turnout, but it doesn't seem like anyone fell for it. Disappointingly, it seems like no one showed up for the pre-rapture orgy organized on Facebook either. Although maybe that's because the location was a bit vague. But best of all was an event organized by the Phenomenals. They got people together in the middle of town and filled a bunch of sex dolls with helium and attached them to balloons
Oh, come on.
to transcend into the heavens.
Ah,
It was a beautiful
Kung Fu
moment,
Panda 2 was the most
and it made a
popular thing
lot
back
of us
then.
reflect.
Should have been a better person.
Yoke. People also tried to make some cash off the situation. They offered to buy Camping's followers' stuff on Craigslist for pennies on the dollar.
Offering to buy on Craigslist raptured people's possessions.
There was also a famous eBay auction, $100,000 post-rapture insurance for only $19.99. But one startup did do quite well,
Dog sit for those called up to heaven.
based around taking other people's pets in the event of a rapture. And I believe they still operate today. So up next, we'll show you what happened on May 21st and what happened to all those people who truly believed. But first,
My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick, my crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my
ad time.
Oh, thank you. I was getting ready to cut the video there.
Hello, it's me.
Oh my God, it's Jesus. What are you doing here?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that me and God have seen your Google search history and were very disappointed.
Oh no.
That's right, and now you're not getting into heaven, or the more exclusive version, Super Heaven, which features a delicious seafood buffet.
Oh no.
Yup.
Oh, how I wish I had taken the time to hide my internet viewing habits.
Well, you didn't, and now you're doomed forever.
Has this ever happened to you? Go to nordvpn.com/internetastoria to keep your website traffic anonymous.
All looks wholesome to me.
Plus, it also gives you region unlocking. Oh, hey, look, it's the UK's exclusive channels. And you didn't even pay a telly license. Oi, oi, stop that. That'll be £52.09. Too late, copper. I've exited to Australia now, a place where no law can touch me. How much would you pay for this service? $1 billion? Literally gazillions? Not today. Get 75% off 3-year plan at nordvpn.com/internetastoria and use code internetastoria to get a free extra month, which includes unlimited data, ultra fast speeds, region unlocking in all these places. Also a map of the world, which is useful for things such as geography.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so good. I might even get code internet historian NordVPN myself.
Yes, Jesus, I think that would be a good idea.
Ha 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 ha.
Ad over. Before we go on with Mr. Camping, I want to point out two other predictions. In 1806, Mary Bateman also predicted doomsday. Through a chicken. It was dubbed the prophet hen of Leeds because it started laying eggs with the
Leeds.
message, Christ is
I don't know, when I
coming,
hear Leeds, I think of
marked
a...
onto them.
Remember YouTube
Oh,
poops
amazing.
out there?
And it all appeared legit.
They still go around.
Locals saw the hen lay eggs with the message already written onto them. Can't fake that. Oh my God, people said, and many more flocked to the area to pray. Well, on inspection of the eggs, it was soon figured out what was going on. Mary Bateman had used a corrosive substance to etch into the egg, and then, a couple of minutes before everyone would gather around to watch the chicken lay, Mary would... Oh dear. Come on, man, it's not funny. She was an interesting character, though. Claimed to be a witch, poisoned a couple that same year with a deadly pudding. She was later tried and hanged in 1809. Strips of skin from her corpse were tanned and sold as magic charms to ward off evil spirits. What the fuck am I reading? Also, shout out to 2012. Remember that one?
December 21st, 2012 marks the end of the world.
Yep, on a
Well,
Friday.
we came because it's the end of the world tomorrow, and we thought we'd better pop in here because apparently this place will be saved.
With accents like those, you would hope they'd be the first to go come the apocalypse.
Okay, let's get on with it. Let's take a closer look at some of the people who followed camping. Take Robert Fitzpatrick, 60, former government employee.
I had plans after I retired, but I put them all aside. I feel as if I've been drafted.
He took almost all of his life savings, $140,000.
Wow, man.
To have 3,000 posters put up in New York City subways and bus stops.
I'm not going to tell you I'm down to my last penny, but, you know, it's a good chunk of what I had saved up, sure.
Does it matter if you're down to your last penny if the doomsday is coming?
No, it doesn't.
And he's not the only one. According to the LA Times, the Bauer family hopped in their minivan and drove across the country to see all of the big landmarks before it was too late, racking up thousands of dollars in credit card debt in the process. They really believed they were going to die. Worse still, the Ramsey family. The father quit his job. So did his mum. His younger brother quit high school. And his wife Marcia thought she was never going to meet her unborn child. Some of these people's lives got pretty fucked up. The day is here. It's rapture time. Here we go. Oh, Lord, I'm ready. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a rapture. Watch me, guys. Mr. Camping spent the day at home in quiet solace and contemplation, waiting for 6 p.m. But that's not what Mr. Fitzpatrick did. A confident Fitzpatrick marched into the middle of Times Square amongst a crowd of mocking bystanders, ready to prove everyone wrong.
Just...
In 3 minutes. If it does not happen, what will that mean?
I wouldn't entertain that question. Okay?
You're confident.
That's what I read in the Bible.
Here it comes. 3.
He reads the Bible, people.
1. Uh-oh. Nothing happened. And then 6:01, 6:02, and by 6:03, Fitzpatrick's convictions turned to confusion, and it's pretty hard not to feel sorry for him.
I didn't water my plants. I didn't do the dishes before I left. I didn't expect to be going back home. But it looks like I will be going back home.
But look, just so we're clear, we're all still alive, and the rapture didn't happen.
Here's where we are now.
Camping was not in the same celebratory mood.
I'm ready to shoot myself or go on a booze trip.
The next day was a Sunday. People were crushed, confused, looking for answers. They showed up at Camping's church expecting to see him, but someone else was holding the congregation.
This is now interesting.
Instead,
I didn't know about this day.
Camping spent the day holed up in his house.
Give me a day. No interviews at all today.
But I'm wondering how you feel today about your prediction.
Well, I'm bewildered. I'm very bewildered, and that's all I can say right now.
On Monday, he appeared on his program. But this time, no open forum. But what he did have was a whole bunch of rationalizations. In fact, your boy was doubling down with another prediction. October 21st,
oh, come on. Yeah.
2011.
I bet everybody, everybody did that.
This is it. And it will continue right up until October 21.
Why didn't you just make a 2012 prediction? You know? So everybody was worried about...
Now I know what you're going to say, and okay, maybe he got it slightly wrong, but this time he has irrefutable proof of the rapture. Using math.
Here we go again.
So Camping took May 21st. Then he looked in the book of John, which states they caught 153 fish. So add 153 days to May 21st, making the new rapture October 21st. How can you argue? It's flawless.
Yes, Mr. Camping. Add the fish number. You've got it this time.
On Tuesday, he opened the phones on his radio show, and it was the first time that his show was ever exciting to watch.
Why didn't the rapture happen on May 21st? Don't cut me off yet. And why do you believe so much it's going to happen another
Don't hang
5
up.
months?
Don't hang up.
You're really pathetic, you know.
I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen.
And I send it to you.
A portal will open somewhere in the world, like Atlantis.
You understand? I wish I could see you face to face. I'd smack you right in the...
What say you now? Calling names doesn't help anything.
After that, viewership steadily declined. Now, after his prediction for October 21st, the media asked him,
Am I on cocaine?
No, they asked him,
Will you dissolve the company in October?
his response?
I am not the CEO. I'm a servant of God working here, and God is the CEO. We look to Him all the time. He has 1,000 ways of getting me out of here. We have to leave that question with the Lord, not with you or with me. That's not our business. That's God's business.
And how prescient. Because 2 weeks later, he had a stroke. I do hope he gets the message. But he didn't. A month later, he was back to doing his show. And he pressed on with his new prediction. By October 16th, though, he came to his senses. He admitted that no man could know exactly when the rapture would happen.
Right.
And made no statement when October 21st came and went. Finally, on November 1st, he retired from his leadership position at Family Radio. Just under 2 years later, he was dead. The result of complications from a fall at his home.
It wasn't me, it was him. Look at him. Get him.
But look, I don't want to be too harsh. He was a flawed man. He messed up some people's lives. But in the end, he confessed his mistakes too.
Yeah.
I was totally convinced, totally convicted of it. But I was wrong. I was wrong. I have sinned.
I think he truly believed the rapture was coming. This wasn't one big grift. And everyone just kind of got swept up in the excitement of it all. So let's put a bow on it with what happened to Family Radio. During the Rapture campaign, Family Radio raised a lot of money, but not as much as they spent. As well as draining their funds, they sold off important radio stations to pay for a lot of the advertising. In the process, they greatly tarnished their reputation. They were bringing in scores of millions in revenue in 2011, but by 2012, it was down to single-digit millions. Now, this is still a substantial amount, but not
I like
when
those
you
coins. They
consider
look
their
cool. I want to
operating
collect
costs
those.
were $26 million per year.
For fun.
And they couldn't rely on donations to make up the
Mr.
windfall
Beast,
because
Mr.
goodwill
Beast.
had dried up. Now, with fewer radio stations and a shrinking reach, they moved to distance themselves from camping and his baggage. Shows from mainstream Christian groups that Harold pronounced as corrupt were brought into the programming schedule. They announced they would no longer air the teachings of Mr. Camping. And finally, on their website, they removed the archives of Mr. Camping's audio recordings. Okay, I've kind of bummed everyone out, but that's the end of the story. I've got nothing else to say, so
Okay.
here's a whole bunch of weird Baroque and Renaissance paintings.
It's good to breathe and look at art.
Me. Mom warning me not to fill up before dinner. Me.
Well, time to breastfeed again.
Put me down. I'm 45 years old.
That's good. That's all looking good. You're not supposed to look
I
straight.
like the
at
one. I
camera.
like the JonTron episode where
Did you make
they
that
show
up?
dying birds in the end. Like, look, a dying bird there, a dying bird there. Oh, look, this guy's halfway point to get to dead.
Here, have another bloody me.
Yeah, this is Joseph's kid, Craig. He likes grapes.
It's true. I do.
Y'all want some grapes?
Wait, there's a mosquito.
Thanks.
My new son. He is so beautiful.
Also, previous video, Jeff the Killer, Sonic High School next week, NordVPN.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share your ideas about this. Like, when you thought your end of the world was. Mine was December 21st, and then April 5th, 2013. And that's it. No, and September 23rd, 2017. Okay, so that was 4 years later. New one is coming soon. Okay. See you in the next one. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I like to be there sometimes. I like to be here too. See you in the next one. Peace.